So we are going to start our group discussion. The topic is history is an important subject that every student should learn. Start discussion.
Hello, good evening everyone. History is as important subject that is student should learn. According to me, history is as important subject as other subjects because history provides us many data which is important for our future, and history helps us to know about the way lifestyle, mentalities, society, governance, etc. matters. Which is helps us to know our past lifestyles, and history is necessary to create anything new. So I think history is important in our life. History is a very important subject. It provides us many other information and data, and by reading the history, we could know the surviving and the fight of our forefathers who have done fight for the land which is called India, and everyone should learn the history. And in our country, mainly in West Bengal, in up to class 10th board, history is a compulsory subject. So, but as my opinion, it should be considered as up to class 11, and history is a subject that helps us to participate any debate or any arguments. In our society, we can see that if a person if a person is fighting any debate contest, if she or he provides or gives some proper information or data from the history, then the other person feels hesitated. So it's a very important tool for fighting any debate contest or to win any argument. That's also. Um, okay, I would like to say that every subject is important because every subject is connected with each other. Where a subject is end, then another subject is begins. So history is obviously a good subject because it is not only full of dates and years, it is a storehouse of the wisdom. Here we can know about um, king and his kingdom, and we know about the uh, different types of wars and what uh, we know that uh, a place which is read in our history book. If we go in there, then we till now got similarity that and this. How we get freedom and how we fight with the Englishman, we can know about this. Uh, so if you know about the world, then you first know the what is history. So that's it. What's it? Well, to be honest, I used to hate history as a subject in my school life, but because I had to remember the dates and the years of the events. I had to remember the names of the great peoples and the places for that. But when I got rid of that subject after my 10th board exam, then I realized that history is a mandatory subject to make the proper basic foundation of a proper knowledge. Because history teaches us how the society formed in this way currently we are living in, and how the great concept and the conflict took places in the past. And the most important thing history teaches us that the thing human seeks is freedom above all. So I think definitely history is a mandatory subject, should be taught, should be learned by all the students. But in my opinion, that our education system is not so creative to learn to teach this subject. I think the teaching system in our country is really boring. We should be more creative to learn this subject. So, at first, I wanna throw some spotlight on why the students are not really into on this subject. And as you said earlier, I'm also not a big fan of history at when I was in school. Uh, but
when I look back to these days, I get to know why is these circumstances happens. Uh, there is few points or I say minority in education system that they basically didn't too much creativity applies too much creativity in terms of studying us that subject. uh, it's always been the same, it's always been the same storyline about what our ancestors did and what the but they really didn't told us or show us this after effects that our that those circumstances happened. Now in our education system we get to learn history as a subject till class 10, but after that many of my fellow friends uh, separated their streams. They went into commerce line or in science line. Very few comes in arts line, but although they took geography or economics, basically they took such subject that somehow enables earning lifeline for anyone. And on that perspective they really thought that history couldn't uh, bring the bread and butter for their. They always think that what will happen if I just if I do my bachelor's degree or master's degree in history. Sure, there is no line I have to go for the teaching line, but that's not the true. I think that this subject should considered as a what do I say, main subject or mainstream subject at least in class 10, and put some efforts by the teachers that may good. So what's you?
So let me tell, as they said that in our recent generation, most of the students just hates history for the dates and years it carries through the study line. But actually, history is not a subject to be bored about it, or it is not a subject of any hateness. By studying history we can learn about the past stories on which happened on this land where we are living today. We can know about the days when people just fought and gave lots of precious life just to let the freedom come, and we are living the freedom only for them. So it is important to know how we are surviving like this in this generation and this much freedomly. Lots of people gave their precious life to get and to achieve this freedom actually. And also by studying history we can history what we can achieve. We should all people should know about their past form, that how they come to this point. So according to me history is also important as a main subject, um, in lack of teaching sense many students are just hating it and marking it as a boring subject. Thank you.
So I agree with this topic that history is an important subject that all students should learn because but nowadays most of the students think that history means a boring and a vast syllabus subject, and also it is also very difficult for reading and teaching also. So I think that if we don't know what in our past and what happened in the earlier, so how we improve in our today's life. So history means the past thing and that the incident which had already happened and that we can never changing. So we should learn history because the famous person who sacrificed for our country to give us freedom, and now the old things old fashioned is very much laughable for us, but if we don't know that what is the old, so how we changing our life in today. So I think history is very much important in that.
So I agree with this topic. To know the unknown things, history is very much important, and it is very much useful for the students. But nowadays, the students think that it is only based on data and years, but it is not. And by this data, the students think that it is very much boring. But for the past people struggle, we came to this point, and we can lead our lives so freely for the struggle of the past people.
Uh, so I totally agree with this topic. History is a very important subject, and personally, I like this subject. It is not only a matter of dates or data only. With this, we can know the past culture and the civilization of our land, and the earlier things which happened before. So, in my opinion, it is a very important subject and we should learn it.
So your discussion is very well, but let me tell something. You are telling about liking, disliking. It doesn't matter liking. If your stream is science, your arts, and whatever may be done, if you don't know the history, you are backward because you will not be able to know the heritage of your country. It will not be past heritage. Always you should know to rectify your present moment actually. So, by it is important for each and every student to learn, because by reading it, the students or any other person can gain the ability to avoid mistake. Because not only for the kings and other things we are reading English. We are reading English to know the lifestyle of the great personalities. Great personalities. If you don't know the how Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar was, how Vivekananda was, you are not thinking that it is also called his history. If we come to know about the biography of any great man, their success story or their failure, how they overcome the obstacle, and that obstacle is before us as a lesson, so that we can rectify earlier saying that if my destination is Konnagar station from here, and if there is any trouble, if you already experienced that they said don't go there, there is a trouble, you change your route, then definitely I will be alert. You are alerting me. So great person's biography or personality is telling that way is not good for me. So the person faced some, encountered some obstacle. So from earlier, I should change my way. So history we are needing, not needing what you are telling as a stream. I am not going to that. But each and every student, even scientist, he or she should know the history for knowledge, for past heritage. What was good? If you want to know about animal history, that is already extinct. In science also history required. But you are mistaking. When you are going through the past, that is history to you. Now we are living life here, and next generation will come to know our history through our activities, our failure, our success. If they don't read about this, they will again blunder. To avoid any mistake, for rectification purpose, for making the life more good, more well, more for making the life better, they should know the history. Without knowing history, if we go through, then again we will face so many dangers. So we come to the conclusion: the history we should not take as main subject, but we all should know the basic of history. We have to go through, and so many persons are there, their lifestyle, their success today. We should know to achieve our destination, so that we can reach our destination smoothly. Okay.